All right. Here we go. All Even podcast special edition interview with my friend Eric, CEO, owner, founder of, well, co-owner, co-founder of Cigar, Gents and Gals. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, bro. How about you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's been a busy day today. You know, I'm still wrapping up the podcast, but I felt that I needed to get you on as well. WildCard weekend is underway. So
Yeah, man, I got it on right now.
yeah, we can talk exactly. We got a wild one right now between the Rams and the Seahawks. So you know, let's just jump into some things. I want to know about how Cigar, Gents and Gals got started. So take me through that.
Well, it actually all started with a group chat. We decided we wanted to design a logo for our group chat, just so something that we can wear when we go to cigar events. And my partner now, he had somebody who knew how to do embroidery and stuff, designed a couple hats for us, and it took off from there. Some people were hitting him up, the guy who did the embroidery, about our logo, and that they wanted it. So we decided to run with it, and it's blown up from there.
Yeah, man. Listen, you see, I got my
Yeah,
cigar and chill hat on right now, man. So
love it.
I'm always repping the brand, man. I'm always repping.
That's what's going on chill right now. Like how we talking, that's so we do on chill.
Exactly.
You know, like, and it just blew up from there. Like, you know, we figured let's have an apparel company do some apparel for cigar smokers. There's not many apparel out there for cigar smokers. So let's lean towards that. Let's do something like this. Like we got the polo shirts, you know, something that you can wear when you go to a cigar lounge. You want to look good, wear ombre polo. You know, you want to just lounge out and chill. You got the Scullies, you got the hats, you know, and just it's sky's the limit. You know, we're coming out with hoodies and sweats soon. For guys and girls, because we're aiming towards the girl side too. We got cigar gals as well. So, you know, it's a work in progress, but so far everyone who's either wore the stuff or has purchased the stuff or even sees it, they love it. So we just, you know, just keep, you know, we enjoy everyone showing the love, especially like you know, like it's amazing. You know what I'm saying, Barry? Like I love it.
Yeah, man. Listen,
I love to do too. I love to smoke cigars, which I'm actually gonna be doing right now while I'm talking to you.
yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's a relaxing thing to do, especially when you're talking to people that you enjoy having conversations with. And it makes the night go by nice. You know what I mean? You have a nice drink, nice cigar, so might as well, you know, look nice while you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Listen, you know, me and you, we go back almost 20 years now. So, you know, I know that you're a hardworking dude, man. You put your mind to something, you go after it. Like, you know, we're kind of very similar with that, but you're a little better with it than me. But I'm trying to get there.
Yo, listen. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing work out there. I watch you all the time.
Yeah.
And I just saw on Instagram you posted something about having Grammatica on your podcast, bro. That's amazing, bro. That's just like that's next level right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when I saw that, I lost my mind. I was in the car driving and I saw that and I just lost my mind. I was like, this is amazing. You know, because I know where you started, and it's just, you know, it's humbling seeing you just, you know, just keep building. You're not giving up. You know what I mean? And look, you got a Pro Bowl kicker, Super Bowl winner that you're gonna be talking to. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
amazing.
Man. Yeah, I definitely got to give shouts out to my boy, my man Nathan on the NR Hour. You know, that's my guy. So, you know, he collabs with me a lot. He helps me behind the scenes. So, you know, I definitely got to give him big props. But you know, just going more into the you know, the business, like what do you have, like, you know, in the pipeline? You have, you know, you think about socks, you thinking about, like, you know, maybe.
So, that's the greatest thing about this is that sky, like I said, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So like we started off doing, you know, just hats. And then we're like, you know, why don't we do some polo shirts? You know, like when people go out and they play golf, they can wear the polo shirts. They got the hats to wear. We got dad hats. Now we did, you know, wintertime was coming. Let's do some Scullies.
Yeah.
For example, like this one, this the cigar and chill, just like the one you're wearing. Yep. They said this one glows in the dark. So at night, it actually looks like a neon sign. Because you know what, when you're outside and you're having a cigar and it's cold out, you want to be nice and warm, and it's nighttime, you're gonna glow up. You know what I mean? Like we figured, you know, let's aim at different things. Let's do different things. Let's try, you know, out of the box stuff.
Yeah.
And just like what I said before, we're gonna be coming out with hoodies, sweatpants. We're actually doing a hoodie dress for the girls.
Nice.
Because when you go to these events, you have, you know, tons of males, you got tons of females. And there's almost just as many female smokers out there smoking cigars as there is men.
That's crazy.
So,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And you don't realize it until really you go to a cigar event and you realize how many females are smoking cigars and enjoying cigars just as much as the males are.
Yeah.
You know? So why not aim at both men and female and let them enjoy it too? You know what I'm saying? Like everyone should be enjoying the same thing. Like I said, it's a very enjoyable thing to do. You know, you don't do it often, but when you do it, you're enjoying it. You know, and even people who don't smoke cigars, you know, are still wearing our stuff because it's a dope logo.
Right.
You know, it's a dope concept. So even though you don't smoke a cigar, you're still gonna try to wear, you know, you're still gonna want to wear our stuff. You know what I mean? And like I said, like we're designing these logos from scratch. You know, my partner Kachi, he'll throw an idea at me and I'll draw it up. I'll just take his idea and put it on paper. So when you got people wearing, you know, your logos, it's humbling as hell. Like it's dope. Yeah. Like they're wearing something that my partner came up with and I drew it.
Right.
And it's so cool watching it go from, you know, just going from the head to paper to material.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing humbling feeling, you know?
Yeah, man. Listen, like I said, man, I'm so proud of you, man. Like I see the growth. I see it continuing to grow, and you know, like you said, the sky's the limit. You can be able to branch off and do so many different things with your brand that, you know, it's not in a box. You don't have to box yourself in. You can be able to go as wide as you possibly can. So it's
like you said before, like we want to aim at like ties and like dress socks, because you want to know something. The people who go, you know, they'll go into these. We want people to be able to go from like a, you know, a conference or, you know, a business meeting, and where do they go after that? They head to the cigar lounge.
Yep.
They sit down, they decompress, they have a cigar. You know, so you want to be able to wear, because you're gonna go into that cigar lounge in your suit. Might as well wear some cigar wear while you're there.
That's
and
right.
It still looks classy.
That's right.
You know, it still looks classy. You know, that's what we're aiming at, like the golf, you know, the golf stuff too, like these polo shirts, the golf hats, the dad hats, the bucket hats. You know, when you're out there and you're playing golf, what are you doing? You're smoking a cigar. Why? Because it's a relaxing thing to do.
Nice.
You know,
I don't smoke cigars myself, but I may have to get into it, man. It's just
you might have to come by and do a little cigar and chill here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like you looking too cool over there with your cigar, man. I'm a little jealous, man.
I know, bro. You have to come by to the smoke room, bro. You have to come to the smoke room, man.
Yeah.
We got some smaller cigars, so you're not killing yourself, you know.
Nah. I'll try one.
You always gotta try one, bro.
So let's get into this wild card weekend, man. The Bills, they not upset, but they beat the Colts 27-24. I didn't think that it was gonna be that close. What are your thoughts on that game?
It was a close game. You know, the Colts started coming back, but the Bills look good, man.
Yeah.
Josh Allen looks good.
Yeah, man. Their organization is they're next up, man. I think that they have staying power. They may be the next really good franchise for probably like the next 10 years. I can see them dominating the AFC East. I
want to ask you a question. Do you think they would have this same kind of franchise and the same kind of season if Brady was still on the Patriots?
Yeah, because remember last year, I think the Bills won 11-5 last year, didn't they?
I think you're right.
Yeah, they went. So you know, slowly but surely they've been building this, man. Like, do I think that they would have won the division? I think they still would have won the division, because as good as Brady is, that Patriots team they just don't have any talent. And you saw the fact that, you know, Cam Newton, he's not Tom Brady, but they were
He's still a talented
really
quarterback.
void of talent. Like they just had nothing there. They had nothing there. And granted, he cost them a lot of games with his poor play as well, but they're just barren of talent. They need to kind of strip that down and reset. And I'm sure Bill Belichick is going to
kind of like it because it's given the other teams in that division.
Yeah.
A chance. Look at Miami. Miami didn't do that bad. You know,
exactly.
If Miami was in the NFC East, they would have won the division. You know what I mean?
Right. So you might be seeing the era of like a competitive AFC East. The Bills, the Dolphins, like you say. I'm sure the Patriots are going to come back at some point. Are they going to be as dominant? Maybe not, but they'll be a good team. And, the Jets, I think the Jets have a chance to get to a decent level, like a decent level of competition, of contendership. If they play their cards the right way in this offseason, they can be able to turn this thing around by next year. Because there's a ton of wide receivers out there that can be able to get some help. Kenny Galladay's out there, Chris Godwin. There's a lot of guys that can be able to impact this franchise. And whether they choose to keep Darnold or draft the quarterback, and they got a ton of money, so they can. And
I'm glad they got rid of Gase. I'm glad they got rid of
Gase. So that's big, man. So the Jets, this AFC East is gonna possibly be one of the most competitive divisions in football, going forward.
I think so, 100%. I think so.
Yeah.
Because you want to know something? Even if they don't go for a quarterback, Sam Darnold is still
exactly.
Good quarterback. He just needs a good coach.
Yeah, I don't think I
feel like he
don't
needs
think
a good coach that's gonna guide him. That's why, listen, just like you, I'm a Cowboys fan, big Cowboys fan. They picked up Mike McCarthy. I lost my mind. But the Jets should have grabbed him when they had the chance.
Yeah.
Because Mike McCarthy had Brett Favre, and then he made. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how the Jets minds work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, in order for you to be a great franchise, you have to have great leadership at the top, and the Jets have never had that. So hopefully things will change. Obviously they're not going to change owners anytime soon, but if Joe Douglas can be able to right the wrong and right the ship, they'll be all right, man. They just have to hire the right coach. They got to hire the right coach, and they got to make sure that if they're going to keep Sam Darnold, you have to put the pieces around that kid to make him good.
You got to put the pieces around him, and you got to show him the way.
Yeah.
I'm saying, look at Aaron Rodgers with Mike McCarthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a backup behind Brett Favre, and then when he took over, that's why I think Mike McCarthy he's an amazing coach.
Yeah.
He's an amazing coach. And that's what kills me about the Cowboys. That's what kills me about the Cowboys. Like what they just fired the defensive coordinator today, right?
Mike Nolan. Yeah.
Mike Nolan. Why? I feel like it's when you watch these games, it's the players, bro.
Exactly.
The players making the mistakes. It's frustrating. It's frustrating watching that. And then they blame the coaches, and it's like it's not the coaches. Watching these players, they're playing. A majority of them playing, 100%. You know what I mean? But you can see like where they lax off, and the things that they have because they got the talent. They got the talent. They just need to. I don't know. They need to just make it one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, listen. The Cowboys. I said that on my post. Like once I saw the breaking news that they fired Mike Nolan, I said, listen, this is a nothing move to me because if they put in, they bring in another defensive coordinator and the team starts slow again, say they start 2-5 next year, they start slow and all of a sudden they start to pick it up or buy in. You have to start looking at the players at some point. Like you were saying, like 100%. At some point, you're changing all of these coaches, but you're still keeping the same core players. Maybe it's time to look at the players. Like if you bring in a coordinator now and he fails, you now have to change the players. It's not the coaches. It's not the coaches.
And like I said, their D-line is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their D-line is so fast off the ball. It's amazing. They just need to they just need to complete it. They need to complete it. And they're not doing that. The secondary didn't do really anything this year. It'd be 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9, 3rd down and 10, and these teams are getting first downs on them.
Right.
And he's sitting there like, oh my God, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing? And
Yeah,
they've always had a problem in the secondary. I feel like they've always had a problem in the secondary. You know,
the
even when they
secondary
had,
has always been
it's
iffy.
always been an issue.
Yeah.
It's always been an issue.
What do you think about Dak Prescott? Do you think that the Cowboys should retain Dak Prescott? What do you think about that?
If the money's right, I wouldn't overpay him.
What's overpay in your opinion?
I don't even know, man. I mean, he wanted Russell Wilson money before, and it's like, bro, you're not Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
you're not Russell Wilson. You know, I would say, because what was he asking now? What were they saying him? 33 million, I think it was.
Well, if they bring him back on the franchise tag again, he's going to be making 37.7 on the franchise tag. So he was asking for 40. He wanted 40.
I don't know. I mean, maybe like 35, 33 would be nice. If he's asking, if he doesn't give in, he still wants 40. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you got to see how he's going to be after this injury too.
Right.
Because he was a good mobile quarterback. I mean, he's a big quarterback.
Yeah, big guy.
He got moving. You know what I mean? So, you know, it all depends on how his recovery went, on how how his injury is going to affect him in any way.
Yeah.
And that depends on the money too. You know? It all depends. Because you don't want them to waste too much money on him and he can't be as mobile as he used to be. And, you know, especially if the old line is hurting a little bit. You know, it's not the old line that Zeke had a couple years ago.
No.
You know what I mean? You got to risk him getting injured again, or just the pressure that he's going to have on him. You know, I don't want him to be like another Andrew Luck where he gets hit 30 times in a game.
Yeah.
You know, because he's not going to last.
Right. No quarterback can at that point. Yeah, like you know,
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck said it.
That man got hit. Yeah, that man got hit so much it was ridiculous.
He was like, lock me out. I'm done.
Yeah, to see what the offseason, you know, with the offseason and everything, and see what they do.
Yeah, listen, I think the Cowboys, they have a ton of issues. And the biggest issue to me is not even Dak Prescott. It's Zeke. Zeke is the biggest issue to me. Like, he's no longer the guy that you can rely on to be a factor back. He's still a good running back. Right. But there's a difference between being a good running back and being a factor back. Derrick Henry is a factor back. Derrick, you can be able to ride Derrick Henry an entire, an entire series, and he can go get you a touchdown. Zeke can't do that. If you remember in that Eagles game, I think it was Andy Dalton. He threw him a little check down pass to the sideline. It was 3rd and 7. He picked it up, and instead of gaining that momentum and we're riding Zeke down the field, he takes himself out. He's tired. Or he had a quad injury or something like that.
He would run like 2 or 3 plays and then he was on the sideline.
Yeah, like you can't and you look at Derrick Henry, he wants the ball. Like if he goes and hits you for 7 yards, he wants another 7. He wants another 7. And then once before you even blink, he's down the field for 50. So
that man's bro, I swear to God.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast. So it's like the way I look at it is that there's gonna be a lot of talks about restructuring contracts for the Cowboys this offseason. Like, I think Zeke needs to restructure his deal. I think Jalen Smith might need to restructure his deal. I think it might be time for them to cut ties with Tyron Smith. They may have to let him go because as good as Tyron Smith is, he's never healthy. And you need health on that offensive line. He's great, but he's never healthy. So if he's not here, then what's the point? You know what I mean? And if Zeke,
was it 2 seasons ago when Zeke ran for Zeke ran for over 1,000 yards, like that offensive line was ridiculous.
Yeah. When Zeke led the league in rushing as a rookie, that offensive line was the best in football. So, you got to think about these things. Zeke is the highest paid running back in football. He has to either restructure that deal. And if he doesn't restructure that deal, then it's time to let Zeke go. It's time to let him go. Because we all seen that Tony Pollard is good. He's very good. And that kid can be an every down back. And listen,
I've always liked him. He was, even before, he was a great 3rd down back. He was a great, back out of the backfield kind of back, you know.
Yeah.
But now he's doing things behind the line that
Yeah.
is, you know, it's amazing, and he's fast.
Yeah,
he's
now
fast,
he's good, man.
strong.
Think about it. Think about it. If they find a way to cut ties with Zeke, they can be able to have Pollard as the starting running back, and then they can look at some veteran help as a backup, like for, you know, a committee. You can look at a Le'Veon Bell. You can look at an Adrian Peterson. You can look at those guys to be able to change the tempo and really have a dynamic backcourt or backfield. You know what I mean? Like, I like that idea more than I like Zeke just plodding along and not being effective, man.
Right? You're not spending as much money on those players.
Exactly.
As you do on a contract like Zeke, and then you can work on other things of the team, like secondary.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or work on the offensive line a little more.
Right.
So you have that line for Pollard that he can, you know, that he can really get some yards going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there's going to be.
You can't rely everything on Dak. You can't.
No, you can't.
So when you're running, when Zeke's doing a 2-yard run, a 1-yard run, now you're in 3rd and 7. Now you got to rely on Dak.
Right.
You know, and teams, come on, man. Like, teams watch films all the time. They know this.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
If you can shut down Zeke, you can shut down the Cowboys because there's no run game.
Right.
So there's no play action.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not tricking the defense into anything because they know that 3rd down play is going to be a pass.
Right. Yeah. Listen, there's going to be I'm telling you, this offseason is super important for the Cowboys. So I want to see exactly, you know, what direction they go to. I want to see what defensive coordinator they bring in. You know, I would love to see a guy like Raheem Morris get a chance. I would love to see Wade Phillips come back.
Ooh.
I would love the last time Wade Phillips had a defense in the Super Bowl.
What I'm saying is the defense smart enough for Wade Phillips defensive scheme.
That's a good point. You know, I would like to try. I would like to see if Wade Phillips can be able to get through those guys, because if they don't listen to Wade Phillips, there's something wrong with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wade Phillips, I don't think he was a great head coach, but
he's a great coordinator. Great coordinator. Amazing coordinator. Yeah. So if you know, and you know the thing about Jerry, if Jerry likes you, he will give you a chance to come back. And I think him and Wade had a decent relationship to the point where if Wade wanted to come back, he could. You know?
I think so. I think if it gets even pushed enough, he can come back.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see.
It depends on how smart this defense is, because I remember when Rob Ryan was the defensive coordinator, and his schemes were, you know, he had very, very, you know, complex schemes. This defense couldn't do nothing with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was I feel like it was too complex for them.
Yeah.
And I think Rob Ryan is a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's that his schemes are very, very, you know, they're tough.
Yeah. They're very exotic. You know, they're a little complicated. They're like very stacked. So you have to know exactly what's going on. It's not just one layer.
And you notice that when he was like, all right, he didn't fit in with this defense because his defensive, you know, schemes were just way too complicated.
Yeah.
So they have to go in a simpler route. But, you know, it shouldn't have to be like that.
Nah, you're right. You're right. You know, if you're an NFL player, man, you should be able to adapt to any scheme. And, you know, sometimes it fits really, really well. Sometimes it doesn't, but you still got to make it work. You still got to make it work. I don't like when I hear players complaining about certain things. Like, you're the ones that are executing these plays. If they look bad, it's because you guys are making it look bad.
Listen, so you guys are getting paid way too much to be complaining. They're getting way too much money to be complaining about.
Exactly.
Schemes. You know what I mean?
I agree. So what do you think about this Rams Seahawks game? At halftime, Rams are up 20-10. Jared Goff actually is playing. I didn't think that he was gonna play, so that's
they had like pins in his finger, right? They had pins in his finger,
and his thumb. Yeah,
and it's unbelievable. But it's been back and forth.
Yeah,
it's been back and forth. And you know, Russell Wilson made a couple mistakes, you know, but the Rams defense has just been on fire.
Yeah,
you know, they've been on fire this whole first half. You know, I'm watching the game, and especially that wide receiver screen that they tried throwing. They read it right from the get.
Yeah, Williams was all over that. He was all over it.
All over it. And it doesn't matter how fast DJ Metcalf is, he wasn't catching.
if DK can't catch you, you know that you are out.
But then you watch it.
Yeah, I saw him.
Russell Wilson rolls out.
Yeah.
Hey, Metcalf takes up the field, and that's the big thing. Always Seahawks. Seahawks always do that. They always have that big play. You know what I'm saying? They always got that big play that'll just put them right back into the game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what just happened in this first half.
And I honestly, I don't think that they're gonna have much big plays in this game because Jalen Ramsey owns DK Metcalf.
100%.
Like, you know,
DK Metcalf, when he got that touchdown is because it was just like a botched play that scrambled.
Exactly. So, you know, I'm curious.
It comes out Ramsey's, it's out of his hands.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, you know, how the second half goes, man. I really want to see what happens. I think the Seahawks have enough to pull it out, but man, that defense scares me because they're awful. That defense is awful.
Yeah.
Awful. So
I mean, other than Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, other than Bobby Wagner, and you know
that man's in like every tackle. His whole career.
Problem.
Oh my God.
Now, what do you let's segue into the Deshaun Watson soap opera that's going on with the Texans. What are your thoughts on what's going on with Deshaun Watson? Do you think that the Texans should trade him or should they keep him?
I mean, I like him. I like Deshaun Watson. I think he's a good quarterback. Is he an elite quarterback? I don't know. You know what I mean? But like, he is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of issues between him and the front office right now. So I don't know if that's going to affect him during the season, or if it's going to get worse. You know, because he's expecting a little more power in his role as the starting quarterback, and the front office ain't agreeing with him.
What are your thoughts on that though? Like, what is your opinion? Do you think that
with the GM, that whole GM issue?
Yeah. Do you think that a star quarterback should have that much power in an organization?
An elite star quarterback, like I feel like if it was like a Tom Brady, who's brought rings to your team, who's created a squad with players that you never even heard of, and he makes these elite teams that, you know, the man's got more rings than anyone else. So when he says something, you kind of listen. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you know what? I'll take your thought in. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that we're gonna make that decision because you said so.
Exactly.
So we'll understand what you're saying.
See, that's where me and you agree, man, because it's like, this is not the NBA. This is not where, you know, the players are so dominant in regards to decision making and stuff like that. This is the NFL. And the way I look at it is that the Texans made a mistake giving Bill O'Brien all of that power. He was the coach, he was the GM. He traded, DeAndre Hopkins for nothing. Traded DeAndre Hopkins for nothing.
That still blows my mind. I feel like that actually gave Deshaun Watson a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
That whole thing, because he's probably like, oh, who am I going to pass to?
Right.
You know, we've had this dynamic duo going.
Right. And
it's just like, and they didn't even, I feel like something like that is something that you would take a quarterback's input into consideration.
But here's the thing, though.
Like LeBron James. LeBron James, like, listen, I want this guy on my squad. Like, we should trade for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's playing right next to him.
Right.
Yeah, because LeBron James, you know what I mean? Like, of course we're going to listen to you. You know what I mean? Like, I know Tom Brady, we want Gronk.
Right.
Tampa Bay do.
Yeah.
Surprise, Gronk is on Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? Like, Antonio Brown, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, Antonio Brown probably wouldn't be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
I feel like Tom Brady had a lot of pull on that.
Nah, I agree. But this is the thing. It's like, okay, after that point that, DeAndre Hopkins got traded, Watson signed the extension. So if you were that unhappy, why would you take their money? You would have said to yourself, you know what? I'm going to play out the season. I'm going to hit free agency. And, we can negotiate, but I'm going to see what my options are in free agency. You took their money. Right. You took their money, and now you're trying to, I don't want to be here because they didn't, consult me on the GM. They don't have to. They don't have
if
to.
you're working the job, you got to remember, as a quarterback, you're still an employee of the team.
Right.
No one has discussed with you on who their boss is going to be.
No.
You know what I mean? I know if I'm at work, someone's not going to tell me, oh, who should we name the CEO of the company? No.
Right. I think I'll sit you down like, hey, Eric, you know, we're thinking about bringing this guy in. Like, what are your thoughts? What do you
I'm like, what? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, especially if you're not, like, you're a franchise quarterback, but you're not an elite quarterback. I feel like if you had, like I said, I'm going to use Tom Brady as an example all the time because that is an elite.
Yeah. Like, you know, we can expand it. If you're Tom Brady, if you're Peyton Manning, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you know,
exactly.
those guys,
100%.
they got some jewelry. Yeah.
Right. If you're an elite squad, then of course we're going to take your thoughts into consideration.
Right.
You know, but that still doesn't mean that they're going to go that way.
Right. You know? Think about it. Think about Green Bay. Think about Green Bay. They didn't consult Aaron Rodgers on bringing in Matt LaFleur. They just brought him in. And they had to make that relationship work. Now, it has flourished over 2 years. It's gotten better. But this is what it is. When you're the leader of the team, you can't show the organization or anybody that you're displeased. Maybe you can talk about it behind the scenes, but at the same time, you got to show and prove, okay, cool. They're bringing in this person. We're going to try to make it work. I'm going to make sure I make this work because it's going to benefit me. It's going to benefit the organization. It's going to benefit my teammates. It's going to benefit everybody involved. Deshaun Watson doing this does not help the Texans organization try to right the wrong.
More issues.
Yeah, you're only causing more issues. Like, they're trying to fix it. Try to let them fit. Like, give this guy a chance. Maybe, just maybe, he'll bring in a coach that you actually like without even consulting you. Then what? Then maybe the fact that he led the league in passing yards this year, maybe you'll be an MVP next year because he can put a team around you.
Right, and he has the ability to.
Yeah.
MVP. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a bad quarterback.
Talented.
He's not a bad quarterback. He's an amazing
25-year-old stud, man.
Yeah, and he, like, another thing, he hasn't been in the league that long.
Right.
You know, like, he hasn't been in the league like, you know, Peyton Manning or an Aaron Rodgers who's been in the league, you know, 13 years, 14 years. Tom Brady who's been in the league for 35 years. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like.
Yeah. Nah, listen, man. I think that he needs to chill and just needs to let things develop and see how it goes. Because I really do think that, because think about it, the Texans, they haven't been a bad organization.
No,
you know, they have some bad years, you know, recently, but they've had some good years on the Bill O'Brien.
No, they've had some 11-5 years.
Right. So it's like, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. So he really has to kind of like just kind of let them handle it. Let them try to work their way out of this rut that they're in. And I can guarantee that the Texans are not going to stay bad. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Grant.
Yes, sir.
Who you say is going to be in the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, my Super Bowl pick right now. I got the Packers and the Bills, man.
You got the Packers and the Bills.
Packers and the Bills in the Super Bowl. Huh?
What about the Chiefs?
The Chiefs are good, but I've seen a lot of weakness out of the Chiefs the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. I think that the Bills defense is good enough to be able to stifle that Chiefs
Arrowhead?
At Arrowhead.
I mean, I feel like it would be different if it was a year ago.
Yeah, like there's not the fans. Like, even if they're at like 25% capacity, you know, it's not the same Arrowhead. Like, you know, if that thing was stupid, man, then I'd be like, I don't know. But the Bills right now, they have the holy trinity of football: great owner, great head coach, good quarterback. And I feel like that it's very, very rare that you lose.
I never liked when a team had a bye.
Yeah.
Because they start off flat.
Yeah.
A lot of teams, I mean, not every team does it, but a lot of teams come off flat because they had that week off.
Yeah.
And it's not like a regular season bye. There's a playoff bye.
One and done, man.
Especially like the way the Bills just came off this win.
Yeah.
Coming off on a high note. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, granted, the Colts were coming back, but they still had the ability to win that game.
Yeah.
So they're going to come into next week just as fired up as they ended that game against the Colts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's gonna be interesting, man. Like my dark horse team in the AFC, you're gonna call me crazy, but my dark horse team is the Steelers, man.
No, you never know with the Steelers.
I think the Steelers have a chance to get to the Super Bowl, man.
I'm mad at you about that because you never know what game you're gonna have with the Steelers. You never know. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They'll come in and they'll beat the Chiefs and lose to Cincinnati.
Right.
It blows my mind. But
right.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's an amazing dark horse team because you don't know what Ben you're gonna get too.
Right. So what's your Super Bowl pick?
I wanted to say the Chiefs and Green Bay.
Wow. So who wins?
Green Bay.
Yeah. I got the Packers winning. Yeah.
I got Green Bay all the way. I feel like Green Bay has been like probably the most unspoken team the whole season.
Yeah.
They're like you hear everything about everybody else. You don't hear much about Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they're completely underrated. You know, so when they come in, they're going to just embarrass you.
Yeah.
And they're not even going to talk about them. You know, the following day, they're not even going to talk about Green Bay. And then Green Bay's going to come in the week after and just embarrass you again.
Right. You know?
Green Bay's got a squad.
Yeah.
Green Bay's got a squad, man.
Definitely.
I've always liked Green Bay. You know, I'm not a Green Bay fan, but I don't hate them.
Right.
You know, but they're a good team. I like Aaron Rodgers. You know, Aaron Rodgers, he makes that offense happen.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
and they have probably the best wide receiver in all of football in Devontae Adams.
That man's an animal.
Yeah, he's a beast.
God, ain't no one stopping him.
No.
Ain't no one stopping him. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, he runs some of the smoothest routes I've seen, man. He's really, really good. Really good.
He's amazing. He's amazing. That's why I feel like that's going to keep Aaron Rodgers on that team for a couple more years. He's not going to want to retire yet. He wants to keep passing that ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, he's 37, but I don't see Aaron Rodgers retiring anytime soon.
No, I see him going at least another 4 years.
Yeah, I agree.
At least another 4 years, if not more, depending on how how many times he gets hit and how much time he gets beat up a little bit. You know?
Right.
You know, he hasn't been getting beat up that much this season at all.
No, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Not the fact that they lost. They lost their best tackle. That's gonna be tough. I want to see how they rebound with that, man. But that's a huge blow to them. You know, that's his protection right there. So we'll see how they actually.
But he's a good adjuster. He'll adjust.
Yeah.
That's what's great about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because if his left side is not that strong, he's gonna keep moving off to his right side. You know, he's gonna make sure that he's not gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what makes him such an elite quarterback because he can adjust, and he can do it. You know, very simple.
Definitely.
You know, it looks effortlessly. You know what I mean? That he's doing it.
Definitely.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know, as much as I thought this NFL season was gonna be blah,
it's been good.
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good.
Man.
You know, I mean, other than NFC East,
NFC least.
Yeah, exactly. All I know is I'm happy that the Giants are out.
Yeah.
Happy the Giants are out. I'm happy that Philly purposely lost that game.
Yeah.
Because they hate the Giants that much.
Of course.
As much as they say they wanted to get the third string some snaps, I highly doubt it.
they wanted the draft pick and they wanted to stick it to the Giants. So they got both. They got both.
And not for nothing, I don't think anyone from the NFC should even be allowed to play in the playoffs. I feel like that there should be a rule that you need to be above 500 to make the playoffs.
Well, I disagree with that. But
they're hosting a home game.
Well, here's the thing. I disagree with that because the thing is, as bad as the division was this year, right? The Washington football team, they're not bad. They have a lot of talent on that team, and they have such feel-good stories. Like, Ron Rivera is a great head coach, right? Very underrated coach. He had cancer. He beat cancer, and then Alex Smith, with that terrible injury that he has, 17 surgeries, he ends up coming back, and you can probably pencil him in for Player of the Year.
Comeback Player of the Year, 100%.
They got Chase Young. That defensive line is so good. They're so fast. They're so aggressive. They have Gibson, the running back. They have Terry McLaurin. they have some talent on this team, man. So it's like, I like the story of Washington. I hate Dan Snyder. I think he's a terrible person and a terrible owner, but the actual football team has been really, really decent to watch this year. You know what I mean?
They have. But I mean, in my heart, I still feel like other teams who didn't make the playoffs, and then you watch it, then if Washington would have lost, you would have had a 6-10 team in the playoffs. It blew my mind. It just blew my mind.
Well, I mean, listen, I look at it in two ways. Because if you remember, before Seattle became Seattle, they had 2 7-9 seasons under Pete Carroll when he first got there.
Yeah.
And then after, they went 7-9, and then they won the Super Bowl. So, you know, it was 7-9, 7-9, 11-5, and then they won. So they kept getting better. I see the football team continuing to get better. I don't see the NFC East doing what they did this season. I think they're going to be able to rebound big. I think the Giants will be back. The Giants will win somewhere around 7 or 8 games. I think the Cowboys can win 8 or 9 games if things break well next year. I think the same thing for Washington. And I think the Eagles may have a hard time with Jalen Hurts winning some games, but you know, they're going to take their time. So I don't think the division is going to be as bad as it was this season.
I really hope not, because this is not the first time this has happened where a 7-9 NFC East team has made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, look at the Giants. The Giants were what? Or they went 8-8, or maybe 7. I think it was.
I think they were 9-7. The second Super Bowl that they had in the last Super Bowl that they had, they were 9-7. So
I don't know. I've always felt like, you know, if the team deserves to be in the playoffs, they should be at least over 500. Especially that you only have 17. You know, it's only 17 weeks, only 16 games in a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you have for example, you have a team like the Dolphins, who went what? They went 10-6.
10-6, yeah.
And they didn't make the playoffs. And then you have a team like Washington with 7-9, and they're hosting a playoff game.
Right.
And it's mind-boggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, it would have been. I feel like if the Cowboys would have won that game, I still feel like Philly would have definitely blew that game regardless.
I'm sure.
Win it because they hate the Cowboys just as much as they hate the Giants. You know, I feel like
I ain't mad at all, man. Trust me.
I feel like Washington just sits back and is like, something like just creep up. They don't care.
I guess they don't hate us that bad. So let's.
I don't think anyone in the NFC East hates Washington the most. I don't think anyone like Cowboys, Giants, and Philly. They all hate Washington the least.
Right.
They hate each other so much that they don't even care about Washington.
You know the old saying. You know the old saying: "The enemy of my enemy is my friend."
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, so what do you think about the Eagles? Do you think that Carson Wentz has played his last game with Philly?
I think so. I think they're leaning more towards Hurts. You know, I've never been a big fan of Carson Wentz. Never really liked him too much. You know, but I mean, Prince William got to go somewhere. Okay? He got to go somewhere. You know,
Prince William.
Gotta go somewhere. But I feel like he might do better on another team. You know, he's not a bad quarterback, but I've never been a big fan of him.
Yeah.
I've always said, like, I think he's overrated. You know, they made him seem like this great quarterback. But you want to know something? He's been injury prone.
Yeah.
And other quarterbacks have stepped up over him and done a better job than him.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good quarterback. He's got a lot of learning to do. He's young.
A ton.
You know? He's very young. You know, he's not like one of those college, you know, quarterbacks that come in and they're already at an elite level. No, he's good, but he's not there yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like he can get there. You know what I mean? I feel like he can get there.
Gotcha. So who do you have winning the game tonight between the football team and the Buccaneers? Who wins that game?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay. Like I said, I haven't been a fan of. I mean, I hope Tampa Bay because I'm a Cowboys fan. I can't watch it go any further than this. You know what I mean? And look, they won the NFC East. I'm good job. That's about it. Bro.
You can't support them any further.
I can't support them after that. But I kind of want to see Tom Brady go a little longer in the playoffs, just to stick it to the Patriots a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because that's the other thing. Like, you know, that's how you could tell how great of a quarterback he is. Because you had it, the Patriots was this the first time in like 15 years.
20.
20.
No. The last time they missed the playoffs, it was when Tom Brady tore his ACL, and they had Matt Castle, but they went 11-5 that year and missed the playoffs. So yeah, so it's been like 15 years.
And this is the first time in 7 years that Tampa actually made the playoffs.
Right.
So what does that tell you?
Yeah, listen, Tom Brady is a great like I can't separate the two. Like I think Tampa has done a great job putting a good team around Tom Brady, because at this age, the older you get as a quarterback, you need as much weapons and as much protection as you possibly can. They 100%. Gave him that.
They did.
So, you know, you got to give kudos to the Buccaneers organization for, you know, not saying, okay, we got Tom Brady, we're just going to just leave the team alone. Like, they tried their best to improve the team. But I will never separate Belichick from Brady, because they needed each other. Like, Brady needed Belichick's greatness. He needed his defensive mind, because remember, those first few seasons, those first few Patriots teams, they were defense first. And it was basically Tom Brady being the, you know, the general, not turning the ball over, just making sure that he's mistake free while the defense does what it does. And, you know, you can make a couple plays here and there and ice the game. So, you know, Bill Belichick has left his stamp on this game. Tom Brady has left his stamp on this game. And I think they're synonymous. Like, I never want to look at Tom Brady and say, oh, well, look, he's doing it without. They needed each other, but they also had to.
Brady wouldn't be the Tom Brady he is today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had to part ways because it was just time for that. But we just have to look at what they've done and appreciate that, because you'll probably never see that again in football. And you know, what they did was special, man. So I never want to take away from Bill. I never want to take away from Tom. I just I keep them in that same conversation.
The Andy Reid Mahomes.
I doubt that they're gonna have that type of success.
I don't think they will, but Andy Reid is.
It's possible. Listen, Andy Reid is a great coach too, man. But man, that 20 years of dominance, bro, I can't see any team doing that. I just can't.
I don't think anyone's gonna even come close.
Yeah, 6 Super Bowls and 9 appearances is just it just doesn't make sense.
It's insane. It is insane of what they did, especially what they did over the whole career of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
They dominated that AFC East year in, year out.
Yeah,
dominated.
Yeah,
that's what, you know, with the Patriots not being that team anymore is giving these other teams in the AFC East a chance.
Right.
You know, it's giving them a chance. Like, oh yeah, you know, we can actually make the playoffs.
Right.
With this and not be a wild card team. Like, we can actually win a division here.
Yeah, man. I agree.
And that's why I like Tua too. You know, I like Tua. I love him on Miami. You know,
he has a lot of work to do.
He's got a lot of work to do, but I like that Fitzpatrick's there, because Fitzpatrick is the guy who would literally take away his starting position just to build this guy up. He's that type of player. You know what I'm saying?
See, I would love Fitzpatrick on the Cowboys as a backup next season. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to see that.
I wouldn't mind that.
I would love to see that.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a big fan of Andy Dalton.
I think
a lot of my friends know that.
he had a decent season, man. Like for
the team he had to work with,
exactly. For the team that he had to work with, for the offensive line he had to deal with, he actually played well, man. So
and he was injured. He had the concussion. He had to come back. You know, like he fought through it.
Yeah, he fought through it. I have more respect for Andy Dalton than I had when he was playing in Cincinnati. Like, I saw this guy's toughness up front with my own team. So kudos to Andy Dalton, man. Like, you know, he kept.
The Cowboys do bring the toughness out of quarterbacks. Look at Tony Romo.
Yeah,
that man would play in a wheelchair if he had to.
I love Tony Romo, man.
You know, as much as I used to always talk smack about Tony Romo, or you know, every week. God, I couldn't stand him. You know what I mean? But if you look back at him, he was one tough ass quarterback.
Yeah.
one tough quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting rocked, and he was trying to keep himself in the game every time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Nah, I agree.
And now, you know, he's just an amazing commentator. You know what I mean? Like, I think he does better as a commentator.
He's the best commentator. He's the GOAT.
I swear to God.
He's the GOAT, man. He's the
GOAT.
Man,
I was like, this is what he was born to do. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
Like, he is unbelievable. Unbelievable commentator.
But it was a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Like, tell everybody where they can find you. Tell everybody, like, you know, what they need to go cop, man. Like tell people they have to go cop this merch, man.
I mean, you definitely got to cop this merch. If you're a cigar smoker, if you're not a cigar smoker, you got to cop this merch, because we work on having the best products that we can do. We'll spend more money to make better products for people to wear for years on end.
Right.
You know, like we like doing embroidery stuff instead of, like, you know, like screening on t-shirts and stuff like that, because we know that these embroideries are gonna last forever. We don't want someone to wear our product and a few times and that's it.
Right.
You know, we want to be able to have someone purchase something on our website and wear it for years and years and years, where it starts to fall apart and it's like, all right, it's time to get a new one.
Right.
You know, that's what I want. That's what I want. I know that's what my partner wants to see. My partner is just as passionate as I am. You know, he's traveling all over with the NFL right now, so you know it's tough for him because he's trying to do both.
Yeah. You know?
So it's good that I'm here as his partner, working on things while he's traveling to a different state. He's everywhere. Every week he's in a different state.
Yeah.
You know, right now he's in New Orleans. You know, it's nonstop.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance.
It's a good balance because we feed off each other. We're both just as passionate about this company. That's why I feel like it's gone the way it's gone.
Yes, sir.
Because we have that passion. Just like, you know, I love watching your podcast. I love listening to them because you can hear the passion in your voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, when you're talking to Mike Guido, you know, you can hear the passion between you guys. And then what's great is that, you know, the feed off each other.
Right.
The dynamic that you guys have is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes you want to keep tuned in. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to watch and I got my kid running around in the background. I'm like, hey, relax. I'm trying to watch this. Like, you know, calm down. I want to see how this plays out, because you guys get into heated arguments sometimes about stuff. And I love it. I love it because, like I said, it's all about the passion. It's all about the passion. And you know, you can follow us on Cigar Gents and Gals on Instagram, Facebook. Check us out on our website, cigargentsandgals.com. And you know, I want everyone to enjoy it just as much as I do.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's important. Like, you see, I got my like, y'all gotta go get y'all one of these, man. Go get y'all one of these, man.
Go and chill, you know what I mean? That's the best thing to wear when you're having a cigar and you just want to chill.
Yes,
you know, we got the ombres, we got the hembras, we got the CGs, you know, we got the smoke and ash, you know. It's a cool thing to do. It's cool to do. We enjoy doing it, and we just want everyone else to enjoy it just as much as you know, you do your thing on the podcast and everything else, and you want everyone else to enjoy what you're enjoying too. And I give you big kudos for that, because you know, you've been doing amazing work. Barry.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Like, you know,
I appreciate you. I'm always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? I got your back 1,000%, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, I got your back 1,000%. I'm gonna promote you as much as I possibly can. Likewise. I know you're gonna get big, bro. I'm telling you. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? I could feel it. I can see just mounds and mounds of followers just coming in just to hear what you got to say. Yeah. You know? Because you got the knowledge, you know, you got the passion, and when you put it together, it just becomes even better.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. Trust me. Like, it's, you know, I support my guys all the time. That's like, you know, you guys hear the podcast, listen to the podcast, you'll hear Eavesdrop, Cigar Gents and Gals. I have a whole bunch of other people there because I'm always supporting my people, man. Like,
I heard D-Money on there. It was, you know,
support your people. And
like I said, the Grammatica thing is big.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that interview. I can't wait for that interview.
I'm hyped. That's gonna be next Thursday. It's gonna be on Zoom, so it's not gonna be live on Instagram, but we'll go ahead and post it. We'll post a clip of it on Instagram, and then the full interview will be on YouTube. So we'll push you towards the All Leaving Podcast channel on YouTube, so you can be able to view that. So it's
subscribe. I'm telling you.
Subscribe, please. All right, my man.
Pleasure, man.
I'll talk to you.
Salud, bro.
All right, later.